All right, well, we're back on the camper this weekend. I'm gonna try to finish up a little bit of it tonight before the sun goes down. I was able to get off work a little early today, so we're gonna finish up the running lights on the camper. So this weekend we're gonna be connecting the front running lights to the rear. You know, we're gonna be running that line chase through the camper itself and out the front. So we're gonna connect the running lights, the rear brake lights, the turn lights, all of that to that 7-pin connector. So if you would just follow me along on this one, we'll be learning as we go. So appreciate it if you would like this video, and let's get going. All right, so here are the front running lights. It's basically a mirror image of the back. So I'm going to be plugging these all in, connecting all the power side and the ground side. So let's get started doing that. Going to really do it the same as the other, but going to run it, the wires through the side, this little gap here in the framing. So we're going to get that down to get it down to the bottom. So we're going to run it through the floor and then out the front. So if I'm going to just start working on that, really the same thing as part one. So if you haven't watched that video, go ahead and do that. But we'll just kind of breeze through this part of connecting up these running lights. Okay, so here you go. All of the power is hooked up. So really just connecting all the power, connecting the lights together to the green, and then running it down through the wall here. So I'm going to secure all that with staples, coming through the stud wall. So this is a window is going to go up here, so I'm coming around it and then down, and I'm going to drill through this. So what this is bolting the whole camper down to the metal frame with this bolt, or this wall at least. So I'm going to drill behind it, and it's going to go through the wood here and then through that metal pan at the bottom and out the bottom of the camper. And then I'm going to run that with a conduit, and there's the metal frame is like right in here, running along this, and then it's going to go out the front, up to the hitch. So that's going to be next. Well, eventually that's going to be next. I'm going to be wiring up all this. All this comes together, and then the wire from the back of the camper is going to come in to here and connect them all, and then I'm going to go through with just one wire through the floor. So I'm going to do that next, and I'll bring you along when that's all done. I got to do all the ground side as well, but again, it's really just a repeat of the hot wire. So that this way you can see what I've got done. I'm going to staple all these down, secure these wires down so they're not just hanging out here, when I put the insulation up. So I'm gonna get to that next, and I'll show you kind of the finished product here when I got these done. And I think you'll get a better understanding when it's all together. It'll really pull it together for whatever your project you're working on. Hopefully it'll help you out. This is the mess of wires right now, and it ends up being just too much to kind of group together. So the plan is I'm gonna put this terminal strip. This is what I had in my shop there. The only thing is it just connects one side to the other, not everything together. So I'm putting these little jumper wires across to basically connect all of this, so anything that plugs in this side also sees it everywhere. So hopefully going to have kind of picture this, let's say an input electricity, it's going to go across, go to here, go across, go to here, so it's not a whole lot of power that these lights need, so I think this will work out. So I'm gonna put these jumpers on one side and then plug in all the lights on the other side, and then have one of them have a feed going through that's gonna go to the front. So I'm gonna do this. This is just kind of tedious work, but I'm gonna try to, up in that camper, try to fish wire into this and screw it down. So that's my solution. I'm not sure it's the best. They probably make these like kind of terminal bus strips that kind of connect it all together, that you don't have to do these jumpers, but this is what I got so far. So I'm going to go ahead and get up in there and see if I can plug all these in, and I don't think I'll be able to film it just with the tight space in there. So this is the solution, and I'll see what this all right, so I think that worked out. Here's the terminal strip here, and I've got, it looks kind of still a mess, but I've got all the wires on one side for the running lights, and then actually got the brake running lights, or the tail lights, and one connector. So now I'm going to come out with a 12 gauge wire that's going to go to the front. I'm going to secure this, you know, to the back right here, and, you know, zip tie these wires, getting them all cleaned up. Again, something that's I can't really do while I film just because of this tight closet back here. So I'm going to get all that done, and I'm going to run the wire, that 12 gauge wire. It's this nice little chase up here through the bathroom area, and I was going to go through underneath the camper and just run it at a conduit, but I think, you know, this will protect it more. Obviously it's going to be up in the inside, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to run that 12 gauge wire through here and then into the main part of the camper. Okay, now I'm back on the brake lights, and I got the inside kind of tied up, but next is putting these together. So the black wire was the kind of the running lights, the, you know, when the lights are on wire, and these are the brakes. However, when I was testing it out, I had to use this panel as ground, and so I need to run a ground line to it. So my plan is to you know, they just have one hole here, and I think that's big enough that I can have this one wire coming out still, and I'm going to attach it to the back with this screw, you know, around there. And this thing doesn't fit flush so much against the back of the camper. It has some butyl tape that go around it, so it does stick out maybe like a 1/16. And so having that little you know, screw head on the back is not too bad. And then I'll put a nut on this side to cinch it down, and then that lens fits over this. There's a lot of airspace in there, so that's not a big deal. So I'm gonna try it out. So this is the plan.
I'm gonna go ahead and get this started here. And next time I'm going to plug the brake line. I'm not really going to screw this into the camper just yet. Just want to try to see if it all fits. Yeah, again, it's a little bit sticks out.
All right, so we're back inside the camper now, and I've got the 2 wires. So all that massive wires in the back is running to just 2 wires. So now we're down to the main ones to get it to the front. So I'm gonna run this to the front and meet up with the front lights, connect them, and then run another, you know, keep on going to the very front where the plug is. So same with the ground wire. So again, I got the 12 gauge. I'm not really sure if that's needed. I just had it, so might as well use it. So my plan is to run it inside the studs just like a house. I'm assuming that's the way to do it, really. So I'm going to run it up here from this chase, this hole right here, and run it along this support board here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, just barely. The support board, and then I'm going to go in the studs on this side. So go, like, drill a hole through here, and it's going to be underneath the window. So I don't, you know, obviously won't run through it into the window opening. So it's going to be underneath the window, and actually the kitchen cabinets are going to be right here. So it's going to be behind them. Let's try it. All right, now that we're through, so here's the front that we painted the other day, and I've got the new 7-pin connector in this terminal box. I'll try to link this in the description below because this is a really good one. It has this cover on it, and the cover has some nice sealer, you know, kind of rubber seal around the outside of it. So that's nice. And then you kind of slide these off, and the wires slide in through here. And then you they have another one of these that have holes in them, so it's a nice rubber grommet that'll, you know, protect the, you know, anything from getting in there. Like down here in Georgia, we'll have dirt daubers get up in there, so we got to keep them out. So you're going to run your wires in here and crimp it down. You know, I have the green and the white right now, so we're going to do those first. I think I'm going to just leave it at this. I'm going to plug them into here, and well, actually first I think I'm going to bring my truck back, because I'm not sure where to mount this thing. I got, you know, that box, it's probably going to mount something close to the camper itself, but I want to leave enough wire that it comes out and can actually attach to the truck and then still have some room. So I'm going to go bring my truck up and we'll start sizing this thing and see where we can mount it. All right, so I've got the truck parked up against the camper here pretty close as I'm going to get it, you know, and kind of simulate the camper hooked up. So I have this junction box with the 7-pin connector, and it's plugged into the truck, and it's quite a long cord, and I think I'm going to mount this right on the front of the camper right here. So that way I have some, you know, the cord can run up the inside of this, and I'll have it secured up with some brackets and things like that here later. But still have enough slack so when I can drive and turn and stuff, there's some slack for it. Mount it here, and then gonna get the wires to run up into it. So, you know, right now I'm gonna get it just kind of rough hooked up. I won't drill it into this just yet, but these wires are gonna run in a conduit right behind this bracket right here. It's just kind of this metal beam that runs lengthwise, and right now I'm gonna just you know, temporarily wire them up, but get enough wire here to run it in some conduit, and that way it kind of protects them. It's going to be behind this metal piece, so like, you know, maybe rocks or something that kind of kick up doesn't damage them. So right now this is all wired in here, and you can see the hole, the grommet that they supplied. It's right there, and it looks pretty good. All right, now that those are plugged in, let's go try it out and see if the car lights. All right. Well, they look on. It's hard to tell with the sun in it. Let's see what the back looks like. All right, they're on. Yeah, look at the tail lights are on. Tail light is on. This side is on. Again, it's daytime, so it's really hard to see, but it looked like they're on, so I'm excited. Look, first time wiring a camper and it works. So that's it for this one. I appreciate you guys sticking around for this video.